Good evening, cigar lovers. It's Tim here once again, and the boys at Cigarsindia.in, India's largest and most trusted online retailer of cigars, now available offline as well in their tasting room in Bangalore. Please do come along for that. The boys at Cigarsindia.in have given me the unenviable or enviable task, depending on your persuasion, of reviewing this monster of a cigar, which is the Cohiba Robustos Supremo, Edición Limitada 2014. Why is it a monster? Well, this is probably one of the largest Cuban cigars available. Maybe historically not, but certainly now so. It's a 58 ring gauge, but the size isn't that large. Apparently it's supposed to be about 5 inches. Yeah, that's about right. So 5 inches by 58 ring gauge. The closest Cuban cigars which come up to this size, again from Cohiba, are the Bejiques 56, and that was a 56 ring gauge. Can't remember the length of it though, but it was quite a big one. And the other one again was a Cohiba, and that was a Pyramides, and that was around the 50s as well. So this one is quite huge, and it had some internationally renowned rave reviews. So I'll take those on board, but I'd also like to take some not an objective stance, but also raise some comments about it which may have been glossed over simply by the hype of it being a Cohiba and also about it being such a large cigar. The first thing is the price point. In Indian rupees you're looking at about 5,500 to 6,000 per stick. I know it's a big cigar, but that's a lot of money for a cigar. So you expect it to be flawless and within the same lineage as the other Cohibas within the range. So I think I'll be giving this a harsher test and putting it more under scrutiny than normally I would, simply because it has a lot of good reviews, but also it's going by its kudos, and it has a long shadow which needs to be broken down, and you need to understand whether this does meet up to the hype that's actually surrounding the cigar. I'm sure it will be a fantastic smoke, but let's put it to the test, that's what I say. Now, before I start lighting it and going through the pre-light draw, I'd like to just give you an idea about the previous reviews on Cohibas. I don't want to waste too much time on the history and background of the Cohibas, seeing as I've done that on, I think, 1 or 2 separate occasions earlier. So the boys will put a link on the YouTube site, and if you do want to check out the history and background of the cigar, and also the other cigars within the Cohiba range that I've reviewed, then please do check it out. This particular vitola is quite dark, well, certainly darker than some of the other Cohiba range, certainly darker than the Linear Siglo range. Having said that, if you say compare it to Cohiba Sublimes, it's certainly a lot lighter than that. So I'm expecting some chocolatey rich flavors because of the high content of sugar which is available in on such a dark cigar. But again, just go through it and see what the experience is like. Construction wise, it's fine. Some people have commented that they've had some problems with this in that it's too tightly packed. This, the one I'm assessing now, I'd say it's kind of nice and spongy, firm, but certainly not tightly packed. So I think for me this should be a good start, because the flow of air and the flow of smoke through the cigar should be nice and even. And I think that was a problem that some of the other reviewers have found with this cigar, that I don't know how they could actually get it so tightly packed, which caused such impediments during their smoking experience, especially with a Cohiba cigar, because the quality and aging process, and literally from the time the leaves are harvested to the time it's actually constructed, the process has to be superlative. So I'll take what they say with a pinch of salt. bearing in mind this one does have a nice spongy feel to it, so it should draw quite nicely. In terms of construction, it's not as oily as I expected, and there are a few slight ridges and bumps, but not too bad. I wouldn't say it's rustic in any way at all, but it does have one or two bumps. Didn't pick up any qualities on the taste of the capota. There's no peppery taste or quality to it. There is some of that characteristic Cohiba grassiness coming through. It is quite tangy as well. It's quite a mouthful. I'm getting a lot of aged tobacco here. Again, I think this has been aged for a few years. I don't want to give an exact date. If you have an idea, please do get in touch with us. But various sources have said at least for a minimum of 2 years. So it's got some aged tobacco in there, which is nice. And that's reflected in that taste profile coming through. So what am I picking? I'm picking up leather. I'm picking up some creamy quality, not too much. There's that sweet tanginess which you can associate with the Cohiba line, and also that house style, which is that grassy quality which I've described in my previous reviews of Cohibas. So all in all, so far so good and so pleasant. I said it also had a tangy kind of character. If it's drawn very quickly, there is a slight, I'm picking up a kind of acidic kind of quality to it, stronger than the tangy contents, like a tomato sauce, something actually like a lemon or a lime. But it's just fleeting, it's not too heavy. I'm just getting that tangy quality borderline with that acidic taste to it. Lighting it up now. Smoke output is wonderful. It's kept coming out with a really rich cedarwood kind of aroma to it. There is a hint of some spiciness, but white pepper rather than black pepper. The acid has turned down quite, it is not there anymore. I'm picking up that tanginess, but that on the aftertaste is kind of a bit bitter, actually. The burn, I think, well, hopefully it'll start to even out shortly. And the draw is very good. Well, it's settled in nicely now. The burn is evening up. There's quite a lot of smoke output, which is nice. It's also still keep getting that bitter aftertaste on the on each draw. It starts off nice and sweet. There's that grassy Cohiba quality coming through it. It's a tangy kind of quality as well. But then towards the end, it just leaves an aftertaste of bitterness. I'm not sure whether that's probably the tannins. Again, on a positive note, I usually find, and various reviewers have always said that I'll just let this settle in briefly. While it's doing so, I'll just give you a brief on its history or launch. It was actually launched in 2014 at the 16th Habanos Festival, and in fact it was given out during the evening of the Trinidad Viaga launch. So the various reviewers on that occasion had the benefit of not only sampling a Trinidad, and a new Trinidad to boot, but also sampling this monster. The general consensus on this cigar has been, well, there hasn't been a general consensus. You have two camps, and unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your perspective, one camp is of the view that this is a superlative cigar, and I find it very hard to disagree with them. However, there is a minority of cigar smokers who've also said that there have been problems associated with this. And as I alluded to earlier, I would like to put that in under the microscope simply because of the price point of this cigar, where it needs to tick all the boxes, and just passing it off as saying, yes, it's a Cohiba, yes, it's a big cigar, yes, it costs this much, and therefore it's fantastic. It shouldn't merit that. Now, as I said earlier, some of the reviewers have found that the cigar to be on the tightly packed side. With this cigar, I'm not experiencing that at all. I was squeezing it earlier, no problems there, and that's reflected in the draw on the cigar and the mouthfeel. It's all there, and there's plenty of smoke coming through. But as I said, one of the slight drawbacks I'm picking up on it is the bitterness, and there's a sour kind of taste as well. So you have that tangy quality coming in at the start, but then towards the end it just turns sour, and then finally it releases a certain bitter element to it. I'm getting a good mouthfeel of smoke on this, however. And the aroma of the smoke is wonderful as well. What started off as burnt cedar wood is now roasted beans. I'm picking up a lot of rich roasted coffee beans. A slightly earthy quality too. There's a hint of licorice coming through with that pepper, which is still there. So all in all, quite a robust smoke to begin with. Is there anything delicate about it? No. It's quite a monster, it's quite a brute. And it's offering these flavors in some abundance. I'm not having to fight for it. It's just coming and assaulting my palate and saying, okay, this is what I'm about. So if you like a nice, robust cigar, this certainly would be one to go for. It's certainly not a daytime smoke, not even an afternoon smoke. I'd say it's an evening smoke, possibly even after a good meal with a good drink to accompany it. In terms of, I would say this would be good for an intermediate to a seasoned smoker rather than a novice, because it is quite a mouthful. I'll go through some more of this and get back to you shortly. It's settled in somewhat. The aroma on the smoke is just wonderful. Again, that cedar wood, there is a hint of sweetness, and there is that nuttiness coming through. That bitterness has actually toned down on the cigar now. It's what am I picking up? I'm picking up tangy quality to it. That sourness has also dropped down quite considerably. The sweetness is coming through. I'm getting some of that hay. Is there a hint of vanilla? Just a mildest hint. It is very floral. It's more tannic now rather than bitter. Just very robust flavors. The pepper is also, that white peppery quality is also dropped down quite considerably. In its stead, I'm picking up some more nutmeg and a hint of licorice. I think to give it its due, this should be a cigar which is smoked in a measured way. Perhaps the reason for picking up those other deleterious elements of the cigar was that we were puffing away on it too aggressively, which caused it to overheat and causes some of the harsher characteristics of the tobacco to show themselves. When it cooled down and was given a chance to actually breathe, it tones down all of those harsher qualities. Yes, I think I can say that after puffing away on this for some time now, my mouth feels like it has smoked a cigar, a solid, heavy-duty, robust cigar. Just let this settle in some more and get back to you shortly. Hi guys, welcome back. Reached the final segment of this review, and boy, this has been a big bruiser of a cigar. It's got everything that you want with a Cuban cigar, which you typically expect, and more so. Sometimes, actually, Abel commented on his favorites being the H. Upmann, and them offering some nice delicate flavors, but lacking the mouthfeel. Well, this offers all of those, but with the mouthfeel as well. The sheer volume of smoke coming through the cigar is just wonderful. So my earlier point about the cigar being plugged or a tight drawer, I'd have to reserve my judgment on that. Maybe they just picked up some bad cigars. This one has been a superlative smoke. In terms of the overriding flavors I've picked up, there's a woody, earthy and spicy element to it. There's a peppery quality, cedar wood, burnt cedar. The earthy quality is now the tannins, almost like an overbrewed tea coming through. And finally, the sweetness is more licorice rather than that tangy and hay kind of quality of the cigar. It's got some brilliant aging potential. Since its 2014 release, I'd give it about 3 years, let some of the harsher qualities die down and see what comes through. Probably the beans, the vanilla pods, the roasted coffee. And then after that, probably about 10, 15, 20 years, if not longer. And then the subtle flavors coming through with the superlative. So again, an exceptional smoke and one to keep for a long period of time before you actually try and smoke it. Strength-wise, I'd say it's between 4 and a 5 out of 5. Now, the $1,000,000 question, marks out of 10. I give this a 10, except for the price point, because you're looking at about a $60, $70 smoke, about 6,000 rupee cigar. For that alone, I'm just going to bring it down to about 8.5, 9, because there are some wonderful smokes out there which are a fraction of this price on this cigar. But don't let that put you off. If you have the funds and enjoy a good robust smoke, definitely pick these up and lay a few aside for aging, because you won't be disappointed. So all in all, a very good smoke. Hope you like the review. Hope to see you soon. Please do subscribe to the channel. The boys are on Facebook and on Twitter as well. Give them a thumbs up and a like, and look forward to seeing you again. Thank you for your time.